Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays from the Fisher family to your family, and breaking news as the Cowboys on the eve of the game, which is the day after the Christmas, which came after the eve. I don't know. It's Sunday at AT&T Stadium, and of course we'll be there. And hopefully Ezekiel Elliott will be there as well, but Antwaun Woods will not be there in uniform. The Cowboys have made a couple of significant roster moves here on this day before the game at AT&T Stadium. The first one is the signing of the practice squad fullback, Shewu Awanilua from TCU. And around here, a fullback is kind of a running back, is kind of a whatever back. And so I think you can take that as Zeke Insurance. Shewu, of course, was called up from the practice squad last week, right before the win over the 49ers because of a just-in-case with Zeke. Elliott swears that he wants to try to play this week on that calf. I think he will at this early stage, and I think he'll start, and I think he'll be the number one bell cow with Tony Pollard getting some work as well. But insurance. So we will monitor this overnight. We'll probably wake up tomorrow morning and see breathless reports from national media guys say, Zeke planning on playing, but I'm telling you now, Zeke planning on playing, but insurance policy with Shewu, just in case. And again, this is a fullback who can play a little running back, a running back who can play a little fullback. Tony Pollard is there, Rico Dowdle is there too, but there's your just in case. Again, do the numbers. If Zeke, for some reason, can't play, you would be left with just two running backs in this event. We'll know 90 minutes before kickoff, if not before. Yes, Zeke's fine, and then Shewu will probably be inactive, but still obviously available up to the 90 minutes. And then Antwaun Woods. And this has been a really fascinating season for Antwaun Woods, who I think is a fascinating guy. First of all, remember, this is an undrafted scrap heap, why doesn't anybody love me product of USC, who made himself into something and continues to make himself into something. He's been a starting defensive tackle on a good Cowboys team. And he's been a starting defensive tackle on this Cowboys team, which is not quite so good. The playoff game against the Rams a couple years ago, he played with what was some sort of a tear in his shoulder, and he kept playing. And I know the Cowboys gave up 2 million yards rushing in that game, remember? The Rams would bring in guys who were, Home Depot forklift drivers, and they were rushing for 200 yards. But it wasn't because Antwaun Woods wasn't trying. He just was doing it on one arm. And I think that earned a lot of faith in him from this franchise. Obviously, different coaching staff now. Maybe this coaching staff took a little while to understand what he could do. Otherwise, Don Terry Poe wouldn't have been here. And then maybe there's some people in the front office who still didn't respect Antwaun Woods enough to pay him. Remember his contractual situation where, they had the tender on him. They didn't have to pay him any more than that. They didn't pay him very much. I don't believe he was very pleased about it. Yeah, I think he took himself. I think there was a minute there where he took himself off social media or took the star off his profile or something like that. He was not in love with how he's being treated. And remember, he was like the last guy signed, to the point where you wondered, can he go someplace else? Is he going someplace else? Well, no, he couldn't. The Cowboys had his rights, but nobody was doing anything. Everybody was just squatting on each other. Well, now Antwaun Woods with the injury, he is not only a no-go for Sunday, but he's being moved to IR. The other Woods, Xavier Woods, is dealing with his injury. That's ribs, but there's no roster move with him. We'll just monitor him in preparation, quite possibly, for Darian Thompson to be the other safety alongside Donovan Wilson, which isn't exactly the way this franchise drew it up. We will have some fun, I bet you, watching Donovan Wilson maybe try to knock around the ball carriers, including the quarterback from Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts, and the running back too, Miles Sanders. I don't know how much success that these safeties, whoever they are, and maybe including Donovan Wilson, is going to have against the dual tight end threat that they throw at you in Philadelphia, where Zach Ertz, a healthy Zach Ertz is really good. He looks a step slow already, something that Ezekiel Elliott watchers know all about, because that gets talked about a lot. and then obviously Dallas, the other tight end. Two guys who can play, two guys who are tough covers, and I don't know what the Cowboys' answer to those guys are. Can Sean Lee do a little bit of that? Does a cornerback have to come over and help? Do you use an extra cornerback who can help out at safety? Is Reggie Robinson, the rookie, due to get a crack at that? But Antwaun Woods down for the rest of the year. Ezekiel Elliott with insurance behind him just in case. And then crossing your fingers on Xavier Woods. The offensive line will be intact from the last couple weeks. You're in good shape there. Michael Gallup in good shape as well. The fascinating thing about this game and its outcome, to me, off the field, just 2 yards off the field, has to do with the coaches. You already know about Mike Nolan, and I mean, he's been on the hot seat for 3 months here. But what if the Cowboys close with 4 straight wins? This idea, and this is why I always said, I know it's a hot seat, but his body's still in it. The body's still warm too. And every time we've talked about Mike Nolan, go back and check my work on this when we say, here's the top 10 candidates to take over from Mike Nolan, a coordinator. We always say if he is deposed, yeah, if he is ousted, if Mike McCarthy is persuaded to make a change, if he fails. But what if Mike McCarthy and then his defensive coordinator working together win the Cowboys' last 4 games? They've got a 2-game win streak. I'm not saying fool yourself into what you're seeing in the mirror. You beat the Bengals, and they're bad. You beat the 49ers, and they're down. In this scenario, you would beat the Eagles, and I don't know, there's some place between bad and down. And then in this scenario, you would beat the Giants. 4 straight wins. Do you really fire the defensive coordinator when you close the season with 4 straight wins? Mike McCarthy will have something to argue about. By the way, do you like that bowl of holly? No, it's not holly, it's whatever, pine. It's a bow of pine in your face. That's Christmassy, isn't it? So Mike Nolan is coaching for his job. Then there's the Cowboys' offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, and we've discussed that here. What would you do if you were Kellen Moore? Would you dump the boys for Boise? Get it? Dump the boys for Boise. That's gone viral, so thank you for being interested in that. Thank you for subscribing as well to what we do here on the Fish Report. But then on the other sideline, old Doug, up in Filthy. They win a lot of games. They won a Super Bowl not that long ago. The first and only time that has ever happened in Philadelphia and ever will happen in Philadelphia, right? They don't win a lot of Super Bowls up there. So Doug's he did something kind of special. I'm not saying they haven't had success in the past. I'm just having fun, and they'll probably have success in the future too. But would their success be helped by Doug sticking around? He is on the hot seat. They are talking about what do you do if this thing that they had high hopes for, just like Dallas did, if this thing collapses? And Dallas lost its best player at quarterback, its most inspirational player at quarterback, its leader in Dak Prescott. That's the Cowboys' excuse. Do the Eagles have a similar excuse? They didn't lose Wentz to injury. They just lost Wentz psychologically. Lost faith in Wentz psychologically. He is the league leader in all the bad stats. So does Mr. Lurie in Philadelphia look at the overall record, the failure to manage Wentz, their high first-round pick, of course, and say it's time to turn the page? Or do the Eagles win a couple games here? Do the Eagles turn it on a little bit here? And then does Peterson, the head coach, does he get to go to ownership and say, listen, Carson Wentz failed on us. We didn't fail on him. Meanwhile, we rescued the situation in a almost unprecedented fashion. We just took the rookie and put it in there. And he was better. Now, not totally unprecedented. It's happened. In fact, Cowboy fans would say the Cowboys kind of did that in Dak Prescott's first year. Although Dak was not better than Romo necessarily, but they won a lot. They won a million straight football games. They were plenty good, obviously. Coach Doug on the hot seat, and the Cowboys' two coordinators, either with options or with options being taken away from them. Those are the off the field by about 3 feet issues that I think are first and foremost in the game. And then, who helps out with no Antwaun Woods? And are you going to have no Ezekiel Elliott? We will keep you posted, and we'll do so, of course, from AT&T Stadium, as we always do. So stick with us on this holiday weekend. Fish out.